Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's a live studio. We are here to continue the discussion before we talk about Vigilante Group and the rest of them. Yes, he's talking about security check, profiling financiers of terrorists in Nigeria, because that is what will happen according to the presidency. That's names, top officials, top personalities, they are involved in funding terrorists in Nigeria, like the Boko Haram, like the ISWAP bandits, kidnappers, you just name it. There are some notable personalities involved in this, and they will soon start naming names. But they've not really released the names. From what they told us, they are collating the names, they are watching back statement, bank transactions, you just name it. With me here in the studio is another legal practitioner, an agriculturist, political analyst, human rights activist. Join me to welcome Barrister Robinson Imade. Welcome to TMI.
Thank you, Wilson.
It's been a while.
It's not easy to.
You've been pushing it. We said I can't come now. Please postpone. It's been a while.
Well, it's okay.
All right. And of course, anybody close to him is a political analyst, a politician, a human rights activist. Join me to welcome Dr. Samson Isibo. Doc, welcome to TMI.
Good morning, viewers.
All right, now just for correction, Doc, PhD, so don't misquote me, okay? You heard the first set of analysts, they spoke their mind on this particular profiling issue. And people like saying that this may just be another ploy to witch hunt political opponents, to target those that one way or the other stepped on toes or on the neck of some persons in this government. What some are saying, it is the real deal. People that are responsible will definitely be named and shamed. Barrister Robinson, what do you have to say about this?
Well, the fact that it will be a witch hunting exercise cannot be rolled out. But over and above that, I think it's a way of the government of the day telling its citizens that it is highly irresponsible and unserious about the situational happenings in the country right now. It is hard to believe that the government will say those sponsoring the unleashing of mayhem, of killing, maiming, raping, extermination of villages and the likes in a country you are superintending over, that you are collating their names, you are profiling with a view to letting the people know. Is that the way criminals are treated? Can that happen in other crimes? If you ask me, it's a way of saying we are bereft of ideas, we don't know what to do now, and so in any case, we must give you things to be talking about. And they have given Nigerians things to talk about. A segment of this program discussed it, we are discussing it again, and it is only a diversionary measure to keep us busy so that we cannot face the challenges of today. Otherwise, what I expect is that as you discover that Mr. A is involved, Mr. B is involved, you get them arrested and begin to try them.
You get them arrested immediately.
Begin to try them. The fact that you are profiling, what are you saying? Have you seized the passports of those you suspect? If I were involved, and I know I've been sponsoring these people, and you are telling the whole world that you are profiling them, what's stopping you from leaving the country now? Aside from that, at the end of the day, what kind of people are you going to bring forth? The Minister of Information, we have been told, was part of this in the past, according to him in the past, although they say it is a capital error in politics to trust a reconciled enemy. You are saying, oh, I have repented, and you are still serving in government. You are the one profiling the whole of Nigerians. And again, you are part of those profiling criminals. Why do you profile criminals for? Is the government, the federal government now, the security agency, that will now carry out investigations to find out whether how culpable these people are or not? It's a way of keeping Nigerians busy. It's an exercise that will not bring anything. Of course, many other people who are innocent, who have stepped on toes, will be named, and of course, it's court to set them free. For now, they have kept us busy. ITV has brought into it, and we're here discussing a fruitless exercise, an exercise that will end in nowhere.
Okay.
It's a journey to nowhere.
It's a journey to nowhere. Dr. Samson Isibo, what do you have to say about this? From what he said it's a journey to nowhere. It may lead to nowhere, or it may just be another avenue of witch hunt.
Well, my co-discussants have said everything, but I've just had few. First of all, I don't believe in what this government, the present government is saying, is doing. They've disappointed us. They are confused. They don't even know where to, what they have to. What is profiling? It's a sort of divertory roles to divert our attention from the real thing, the substance that is in our front, confronting us. What they mean? Inside your cabinet, inside your household there, you have ambassador of what do you call it, of Boko Haram there, dictating, presiding over a ministry, a sensitive ministry like a Ministry of Communication, and now looking for elsewhere, profiling. What are you profiling when something is in your front? Before it degenerated to this level, what have they been doing? Billions of naira have gone into the system, nothing to show for it. No moving forward. We are, in fact, we are so disappointed with this government, and we believe that it's playing on our intelligence. The best thing for this government to do is for them to resign. Let the president resign and do something, so that the real people who are focused, who know what to do, can lead us and win this battle for us. Okay. This battle that has been on for the past more than 10 years. What are we doing? Just a sort of just few part of Nigeria, and they are meandering for the past 10 years. They couldn't be able to overcome them, to defeat them. Instead, those people are expanding day by day, conquering territories, putting their flags everywhere. And now we are even hearing that they are even moving nearer to Abuja, and you are still profiling until when they enter Aso Rock before you stop profiling. So we believe that they should do the needful. Let our armed forces face these people, instead of going after some people in the southeast, whereas those people that are facing us, nearly to exterminate us, they are advancing. You are looking elsewhere and you are profiling. I think, my brother, I don't even believe in whatever this government is saying.
Okay, you talked about resignation. That is really the decision.
That is my own decision.
I know it's your opinion. It's the decision of the presidency whether he chooses to resign or not. You cannot tell him to resign, especially when he feels that he's doing the right thing in the fight against insurgents. So let's leave it at that. Now, that is on the topic that the first set of analysts just talked on, talking about profiling financiers of terrorists in Nigeria. Now we're going to take a look at our vigilante group. Yes, you know, they've been working assiduously, tirelessly to keep our place safe, our community safe, everyone safe. But right now, we're beginning to hear skirmishes of reports that are not so palatable, especially in a community where a life was lost due to a clash between a member of this vigilance group and a community. We've had other cases whereby you get to see this same group of persons going out, according to some persons, harassing, intimidating the people they ought to protect. Barrister Robinson, what is really going on? Are we losing it in this aspect?
Well, if we look at the meaning of vigilante, you know that we are not losing it. The destruction, the robbery, the mayhem are all part of what the vigilante group ought to do. And that means that from your beginning, the way you started, that they are doing so wonderfully protecting us. It shows again that the Nigerian state has failed. Because vigilante operates in a state or a country where the state is unable to provide adequate security for its members. And of course, the Nigerian Constitution says the primary aim of government is to secure the life and properties of citizens. So the Nigerian state, in almost all the states of the federation today, you have vigilante group. That only means that the state has failed, that this government of the day has failed, that we are now looking out to other means of securing our lives and properties. Vigilante groups are, by its very nature, not a legal group. They are not supposed to conform with the laws. They are, if you like, a deviant group, people who feel aggrieved, oh, this government is not doing enough, we must help ourselves. It's self-help at its best. And it is only found in countries or states that have failed. So if in one breath they are helping, like in Edo State they have been helping, the incidence of crime and criminality came down when they just started, and if they have now started to do the primary aim of vigilante, if you like, in its strictest sense, by going to communities to cause mayhem, to bring about revenge and the likes, you won't blame them. What we have today, as a result of the failure of our government, is, if you like, guided vigilante, because our government, at least at the state level, seem to be involved in this group. And because they are involved, they should be able to guide, to guard and direct them. Right. Otherwise, as a system, there ought to be people who on their own just volunteer, of course they are still volunteer group, and they do what they like, what they think they should do as a means of self-help. That is not possible in a state where you have good governance.
Okay.
But today, what we have in Edo State has at the beginning been good. We only need to profile, I'm talking about profiling again. To profile the members and ensure that they are guided to and tilted to where
we'll come to that. We'll come to that. Now, Honorable Zibo, now he said what we need to do is profiling, that at the beginning they were cool, they are doing their job, but right now it's like there are infiltrations here and there into the same group, thereby distorting the main purpose of the vigilante group. What do you have to say about that?
My brother, I thank the governor for taking a little step better from the beginning. I don't have confidence in these so-called vigilante people. Why? I've been emphasizing on this security network that should be created in Edo State like other states in the southwest. I told them right from the beginning that these people are on a suicidal mission. You put some people together, attack people with then gun. Oh yeah, go and face a S-man, killer S-man with AK-47, AK-48, even more than that. So I just look at them. Now, since we've started seeing them here and there, many things are crept in, like burglary. Many of them are involved in that act. Some were caught last time at Medical Store Road. They were caught red-handed. You know.
Vigilante.
Yes. So even they showed in your station. And the most worrisome one is the one they did about 2 or 3 days ago in one village along the Kubawa local government, where one person was killed. Why? What? You know, the question you should ask is that, what is the state government doing? Has he set it up through law enactment, or they just gather them from Ring Road? Oh yeah, come and do vigilante, not knowing their background, whether they are cultists, whether they are thieves before, or armed robber or kidnappers before. You say, okay, do release yourself, give them the gun. I talk about this in that this is not the way to go about it. Our government is not even ready. The state government is not ready for this. As my friend has said, the primary duty of any government is to protect lives and property. We've been shouting, Odigi people have been shouting, Odigecheve people have been shouting of this killer S-men. What has our governor did? Nothing. Only that we saw some ragtag vigilante carrying their gun And even since then, many has.
If you call them rata, that is not fair on their part.
Where's their uniform?
Because they are doing their best to ensure the protection of lives and property.
Their best is not enough. They are even doing the worst now.
Okay,
so let me finish my work.
Okay, please answer.
The so-called vigilante, they are now becoming terror to many villages. In fact, they are not even going to villages. You see them at event centers. You see them carrying their gun, shooting upstairs upward. You see people scaring because of seeing people with black coming to occasion. Is that the purpose of recruiting them? They're supposed to go to the villages and confront those people. That's why I was happy yesterday when I saw a news that these kidnappers along bypass, some of them have been apprehended. In fact, it was a gory thing.
All right.
We are now saying that this vigilante thing should be reformed.
Okay, I will come back to you. Now, he just hit the point I was going to. You talked about profiling, you talked about reformation of this group. You are going to report they're beginning to deviate gradually to, or deviate off, so to speak, of vein off track, which is the protection of lives and properties, why some of them are beginning to inflict fear on the people they ought to protect. Some of the opinion that is because they don't have financial backup. They don't have someone to really give them that financial support. Hence, they are resorting to self-help. What do you think should be done in this regard?
If we are thinking about information of vigilante,
yes,
the beginning of the reform or the starting point would be to change the name. Vigilante, by its very nature, is not supposed to be a legal entity or one that government is bringing about. It's a volunteer force. People who are aggrieved, they come in either with the motive of revenge, of securing themselves, or protecting themselves. If we are now thinking about vigilante as a means of state security, then we miss the point. What should be done, like we have advocated right from time, and is by many good, well-meaning Nigerians, is the creation of state police. You just said they have no funds. People who come out to say, oh, this thing, we cannot allow our society go down the drain, let us go. They do it the way they know how. And when they have nobody to pay them, I don't think they are on salaries.
No.
If they are not on salaries, how can the state control them?
Can the states encourage them by giving them stipends that need to take care of them?
It should not be stipends. Let the state employ people.
Okay.
We talked about state police. If you cannot employ, if the state police cannot be approved by this government that has failed as far as security is concerned, then we should think about the state creating a security outfit. Don't call them vigilante. Call them a state security. Okay, then you have Eastern Security Network. Give them a name that is different from the
no. Right now it's Ibabago.
Yeah. Let's create a name in the way they have what they call Amoteco.
Yes.
Give a name, get the people, employ them so that they'll be under your authority and control. Then pay them salaries. Give them condition of service, rules of engagement, and arm them. If I decide today to go join a local vigilante in my area, it is at my own whims and caprice. Nobody decides for me what to do. By the time you begin to control me, it means I'm in your employ. And if that's the case, you pay me salary, give me my conditions of service and schedule of duties. If you do that for the present day vigilante in Edo State, you waste your time. They're not going to listen to you. And of course, if University of Benin or any tertiary institution today advertises for chief security officer, they will tell you they want experience in either the military or the police. Get some of these retired officers who are still young and able to head this, get a proposal to the state government on how to run these things, employ people, train them, then you'll be in charge. The way it is today, the government cannot be in charge. If we talk about profiling, the profile people that you don't pay, that have no rules of engagement, that you have not given condition of service, you are not giving schedule of duties, they go into securing the place the way they know how. How do you control them? If you ask the state governor now, how many people you have? In fact, the vigilante under which ministry? Is it under the deputy governor, the governor himself, or any of the ministries? Is it supervised by the secretary of state government? No. So you cannot control or direct what you don't own. The vigilante, they will be a Edo State vigilante, yes, but they are not directly controlled and supervised by any known arm of the state government.
All right.
And you cannot control people who are doing a service that you do not remunerate in any way. So if you ask me, if the government wants to come into securing lives and properties of Edo State people, we must do it in a responsible way by ensuring that these people come under your authority. And you can't exercise authority over a people you don't cater for their welfare. That's the way to go. Otherwise, if the vigilante group or members are doing exactly what my colleague here have said, it is part of the vigilante exercise.
Seriously, part of it.
It is part of it. It is part of it. It's not a legal group. It's not a legal entity. And in fact, if you ask me, the vigilante group, by its very nature, is supposed to be watched by security agents and see, because you are sure that somehow, somewhere, they will fall foul of the law. It's different from saying, oh, this government has failed, there's no security anywhere, we are under siege, let us as a government protect our people. Right. If that is the mind of the government, you should do it the right way.
Okay.
Give it a better name, have it under authority and control. And the only way you can do that, the only way you can do that is put them on salaries.
Okay, putting them on salaries. Now you talked about reform. He has harped on it, but you get some of this vigilante at night. According to reports, some of them they just drink to stupor. You see them drunk, see them gyrating, see them not doing what they ought to do. Talking about profiling, how do you think individuals that volunteer to be part of these vigilantes, how do you think they should be profiled for us to get the best out of all these laws, to do the right thing at the right time?
Well, I still maintain my stand that I don't have confidence in this.
You should have confidence in one of these days.
Now, let me talk.
Yeah.
The first step to be taken, if the government is serious, is by enacting a law. And that is where we need the services of the state assembly to enact a law establishing a security network, whether you call it Igodomigodo or you call it any scary name that will scare them off.
Igodomigodo
or whatever, or anything.
Like
the Amotekun, which is a very scary animal.
Yeah.
And that of a lion.
Yes.
So I think we should do something. That is the first step.
Okay.
And then from there, you should be able to know the type of people you are going to recruit inside. Then, at most, they should have this insurance cover. Insurance cover. Yes, the first thing first. You cannot just take somebody to go and die, and his family will be in problem. So there should be insurance cover for them. Yeah. That's why you see them behaving now. Even they have even turned to traffic warding. I was all this now, leaving the ESMA, leaving the traffic warding, leaving the police. They took over see them misbehaving at the junction spots. So I think they should be called to order. And the best way to go is for the governor, if he still insists on this vigilante thing, to remunerate them, give them logistics, vehicles, what do they call it, walkie-talkie and whatsoever. But they can't be like when you really establish a security network outfit that will fight for the people, that will go to the
extra mile,
to the hideout, the den of the kidnappers, the robbers, and so on. But this one now they can't go. Well, they fear for their own life that if they die now, what is their family going to gain? So I think we implore the governor to wake up and say that it protects the life and property of the citizens of Edo State. And to go further, the South too should come together. I don't know why. If Eastern State can come together, because they are the one that if we find that it is difficult for them to come together, they are now together forming Ebubia Agu. What happened to our South? Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, Edo, let them come together and form an outfit.
All right, you just hold on. I want to go for a break. When we return from this break, we'll continue with this discussion. You were talking about vigilante. Don't you think it's high time they started getting paid? Don't you think it's high time proper profile is done for us to know them and know what they do specifically in order to protect lives and property in Edo State? Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's all about strengthening our local vigilante to ensure the safety of life and property in Edo State. I have two ample gentlemen with me in the studio. One is a legal practitioner and the other is a political analyst. Both have been sharing their thoughts and of course their opinion on the said vigilante group operating in Edo State. Some records are good, while some other records are really nothing to write home about. Lobuchukwu went on that break, something is but you're making your point about reformation of the vigilante group. Take it up from there.
Yes, thank you very much. What I expected the governor to do is to gather some retired security officers. We have them in abundance in Edo State. We have retired police officers, retired army personnel, even up to the rank of Major General. They are bound in Edo State. Call them and they will put in through how to set up a good security, or even if it's this vigilante. And we don't even know the headship of the vigilante people self. We don't know where they are.
No, they have a coordinator.
Who's their coordinator? Yeah. The coordinator? Well, we have not seen him on air to talk to them. So if to say we know, many people will have gone there to make a sort of suggestion or to make an input. So what I'm saying is that the government should wake up, make sure you set up a good outfit. The money is there, the security vote is there. Use it for the purpose that it's meant for. Let the people benefited from that security vote. People are dying, people are being kidnapped every day. If you see the money they paid to these kidnappers, in fact, it's so alarming. So for me now, for the past 3 months, I cannot go to my village. Why? Because of fear of unknown, fear of killer esme, fear of kidnappers. Then we say we have a vigilante. Can they confront that? The thing is still the same thing. In fact, it is so worrisome. 2 weeks ago, my own mother-in-law died. I cannot follow them to the village. Why? Because of fear of being kidnapped. I have to stay with the so we are advising the governor to wake up, do the needful. The money is there. Use it for the purpose, and you will take the glory and respect.
All right. Now, if they want to go about profiling, some are saying that courtists are beginning to infiltrate the ranks and file of the vigilante outfit. Hence, it may lead to something unexpected if it's not checked, especially when they're beginning to bring in courtism into this outfit.
Well, I don't know what you want me to say about that. A gainfully employed individual, maybe a bank worker or an activist, can you be a member of the vigilante group just now?
With my tight schedule.
You won't have the time. It's for those who are free, those who have time for cultism, those who have time who are not employed, those who, I don't see anybody my age being a member of the vigilante group. Young men who are left alone in the streets by our government. We keep talking about, okay, it is true that we are talking about state vigilante, but the security and lives and properties of Nigerians ought to be the responsibility of the federal government of Nigeria. The state should not fold its arm to see the citizens kidnapped and carried here and there. Are we writing off completely the police force? Why are we not crying to the federal government to enlarge the cost of the police, of the Nigerian police force, to recruit people? What has happened to the 205 million people they promised to employ every year? Even in the state, we were told that this state governor will employ 200,000 people every year. Has that been done? Let us either empower the police, or I even think we have our own state, if you like, state police. What they call them?
Wabaizigan.
Why don't we employ people, young, able-bodied young men and women, into Wabaizigan? Why are we dissipating energy on vigilante? But even at that, if the court members, the courtists, as we know them in Nigeria, in those states in particular today, are not members of the vigilante group, who will be the members? And if they are there, and we do not have only one court group in the state, we have different court groups, why would there be no clash? Why would they not think of revenge now that I hear they are giving them guns to work with? You know, why are we expecting something good to come out of how the Bible talk about?
Out of Nazareth.
If you like, my brother, what is lacking just now in the state is the fact that so many youths are unemployed. Those in the vigilante group, they have different reasons for belonging, and they must ensure that they use the group to carry out their interests, to protect their interests. Let the state government think of increasing the membership of Wabaizigan, or get a security outfit that will be recognized by law, that will recruit people and have them equipped with all the logistics provided. The fact that it's a vigilante group, a volunteer group, we cannot, profile them, we cannot decide who belongs and who does not belong, and at the end of the day, there's no way such a fluid system will not be infiltrated. If you ask me, we are toying with security in the state, and I think it is time we started to engage the government, both at the local, state, and national level, on the security of lives and properties in this country. Let us beef up the police force. Let us clamor, continue to clamor for the creation of state police. Let us insist that our lives and properties are secured.
Thank you so much. That's our last line on this discussion. I really appreciate you. Well, Dr. Samson Esebo, do you think that it should be inaugurated into the Wabaizigan group? Would that?
Well, my own idea is this. I thank Governor Autumn of
Benue State.
Just a few days ago, precisely yesterday or so, he employed his citizens to defend themselves. I think that will be the utmost thing to do.
So employ them to defend themselves?
Yes.
Okay.
The people should wake up, defend yourself against any intruder, defend yourself against any kidnapper, defend yourself against any criminals. These criminals, they are human beings like us. Once they know that
with what? With what?
With what they use? If a killer S-man is coming with AK-47, if I will go and look for AK-47 to defend myself.
Thank you.
I will carry them gun to defend myself. Thank you. So let us defend ourselves. If you have means of defending yourself,
Thank you.
So that will not be a prey or a gullible
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate a wonderful analysis. Let's see how this will pan out. All right, about strengthening of vigilante group, talk about profiling, talk about reform. Please, they should put it under consideration, and of course, encourage these men, give them stipends. They are risking their lives to make sure we are safe. Encourage them. If need be like Autumn. Employ them. Let them have that, that's finesse, that joy that they are employed and they are working for the state. Gentlemen, thank you once more. Appreciate a wonderful analysis. We'll do it again next week Sunday. God willing. Bye for now.